Think California real estate is your golden ticket to paradise? Behind those Instagram-perfect sunsets and tech company headquarters, entire neighborhoods are discovering they've built their dream homes in nature's crosshairs. Parents juggling daycare pickups, retirees who thought they'd finally found their forever home, and small business owners pouring everything into local shops are all facing the same cruel reality. Within hours, wildfires can erase decades of savings and hard work. Imagine this, your $1 million dream home, gone in just 6 hours, leaving behind nothing but ash and twisted steel. Here's the brutal math. California properties face a 75% higher disaster risk than the national average. Yet most insurance covers less than half the real loss. FEMA confirms disasters here have caused over $45 billion in damage since 2020, worse than the 2008 housing crash. In this video, we present the top 10 California cities with the highest risk of natural disasters. Is your city on the list? And if it is, what does that mean for you and your family? Are you ready? Let's dive in. Number 10. Santa Rosa. Picture Santa Rosa's wine country charm. Vineyard estates, hillside oaks, and neighborhoods once marketed as the perfect balance between Bay Area access and country living. Now imagine those same hillsides transformed into walls of flame racing downhill at 70 miles an hour. Entire subdivisions have learned this nightmare firsthand. Families who planted roots here, restaurant owners, vineyard workers, retirees seeking peace, watched everything vanish in hours. The Tubbs fire alone leveled more than 5,600 homes in a single night, leaving streets that once echoed with laughter reduced to ash-covered silence. Here's the financial devastation behind the beauty. Rebuilding a lost home averages $485,000, yet standard insurance covers barely $340,000. That $145,000 gap isn't just a number, it's years of debt for middle-class families who thought they'd made it. The cruel truth? Fire season is no longer seasonal here. In Santa Rosa, embers don't wait for October, they strike year-round, and residents live with bags packed by the door. Number 9. Stockton. Stockton's waterfront marinas sparkle under the sun, families picnicking on levees and children fishing along the riverbanks. But beneath that calm is soil scientists call a liquid trap. When the earth shakes, Stockton doesn't just rattle, it sinks. The danger isn't hypothetical. In past quakes, Stockton's neighborhoods literally liquefied, as if the ground itself had turned to quicksand. Engineers warn the same unstable delta soil covers 85% of the city. Here's the terrifying scenario. A moderate Bay Area quake could ripple east, amplifying in Stockton's soft ground until homes tilt, roads split, and levees fail. Imagine parents racing to pull kids from collapsing classrooms, or entire blocks sliding inches into the earth. Yet, despite this risk, waterfront homes sell for $420,000, a fraction of nearby Bay Area markets. The catch? Earthquake insurance costs upwards of $3,200 per year, if it's even available. Many carriers refuse new policies altogether. For Stockton families, it's a trade-off between affordable homeownership and living atop California's geological time bomb. Number 8. Fresno. Drive through Fresno in July and you'll see children jumping into backyard pools, grandparents fanning themselves on porches, and families rushing between air-conditioned stores. But when the heat dome settles, Fresno turns into something far more dangerous, an oven that refuses to cool. This city now regularly matches or surpasses Phoenix's infamous heat, hitting 115+ degrees for weeks at a time. The difference? Phoenix was designed for desert life, Fresno wasn't. Most homes here were built decades ago, insulated for agriculture-era summers, not climate collapse. Picture a young family renting a modest 1970s home. Their AC wheezes as indoor temps still hover at 92 degrees. The electric bill arrives, $450 for the month, nearly 10% of their income. Do they pay it or buy groceries? Emergency rooms already report a 340% increase in heat exhaustion cases since 2019. And the tragedy is generational. Kids fall asleep dehydrated, elders are hospitalized, and neighborhoods without shade become heat islands too dangerous to play in. Real estate here still sells at a median $385,000, making it look affordable compared to California's coast. But the true cost hides in survival math. electricity, medical bills, and the creeping realization that the affordable option may be unlivable in the decades ahead. Number 7. Vallejo. Vallejo's waterfront looks picture-perfect. Victorian homes with bay views, kids biking down shaded streets, and ferries carrying commuters towards San Francisco. But under that charm lies a frightening truth. This city is caught at the crossroads of 3 disasters at once. Ask the families who evacuated during the 2020 LNU lightning complex fire. In the dead of night, parents bundled sleeping children into cars as hills glowed red behind them. They returned days later to ash drifting across their porches and evacuation orders that felt like dress rehearsals for something worse. The science paints a grim picture. Vallejo's hills burn earlier each year, while its streets sit atop seismic zones overdue for rupture. And as if fire and quake weren't enough, San Pablo Bay's waterline has risen over 3 inches since 2015, while already flooding storm drains during king tides. Families who buy here face a devastating compound risk. Wildfire evacuations complicated by earthquake-damaged roads, or quake recovery slowed by tidal flooding. Yet waterfront homes still sell at $525,000, marketed as affordable Bay Area access. The reality? Insurance bills can exceed $8,500 annually, and many carriers are already reducing coverage. Vallejo families aren't just fighting one disaster, they're staring down all 3 at once. Number 6. Riverside. On a summer afternoon in Riverside, the sky can shift from clear blue to smoke-streaked gray within hours. Families barbecue by the pool, then scramble inside as ash falls like snow on their backyards. Take Maria Gonzalez, a nurse at Riverside Community Hospital. In 2022 alone, she and her family evacuated 3 times, stuffing her kids, her elderly father, and 2 pets into the car while neighbors' lawns burned nearby. Each return home was followed by the same grim routine: scrubbing soot off walls, tossing smoke-damaged clothes, and explaining to her children why the fire trucks couldn't stop it this time. Each return home was followed by the same grim routine: scrubbing soot off walls, tossing smoke-damaged clothes, and explaining to her children why the fire trucks couldn't stop it this time. The financial toll only deepened the trauma. Maria's insurance doubled in 1 year, then her provider canceled outright. Forced onto California's FAIR plan, she now pays $9,800 annually with a $25,000 deductible, coverage that barely protects the structure, not her belongings. And Maria is far from alone. In her subdivision of 140 homes, 47 are up for sale, families fleeing the next fire season before it begins. Local schools report a 23% turnover in students as families move away, fracturing communities mid-year. For Riverside residents, homeownership has become synonymous with fear. Children whisper about fire dreams. Adults stockpile masks and medication, and entire neighborhoods live as though every hot wind might be the one that sends them running again. Number 5. Paradise. Paradise. The name itself is a haunting irony. Once home to 27,000 residents, it now tells one of the most devastating wildfire stories in U.S. history. In 2018, the Camp Fire roared down the Sierra foothills faster than traffic could escape. Families abandoned cars on Skyway Boulevard, running on foot through walls of flame. Within 8 hours, 95% of the town was gone. 14,000 homes reduced to foundations and chimneys. 7 years later, the scars remain. Drive through Paradise today and you'll see chain-link fences around empty lots, for sale signs standing where swing sets once did, and scattered new builds rising in a sea of absence. The numbers reveal the cruel aftermath. Only 2,400 homes have been rebuilt, while insurance settlements left most families short by nearly $150,000, far less than what modern fire-resistant construction requires. Those who tried to return faced new hurdles: stricter codes, skyrocketing premiums, and entire neighborhoods still uninhabitable. Satellite imagery tells the truth better than words. 2018's devastation, 2020's cleared lots, 2022's scattered construction, and today's emptiness. A town once full of life now whispers its cautionary tale in silence. For the 4,600 who remain, Paradise isn't just a place. It's a test of resilience. Families choosing to rebuild in the shadow of one of California's deadliest disasters, while others accept the heartbreaking truth that they can never come back. Number 4. Redding. Redding looks like a mountain town dream. Riverfront trails, pine-dotted hills, and sunsets over Shasta Lake. But in July 2018, that dream twisted into a nightmare when the Carr Fire did something no one thought possible. It created a fire tornado. Captain Mike Rodriguez of CAL FIRE still remembers it. "I've never seen flames generate their own weather system," he said. Winds inside the vortex spun at 165 miles per hour, the equivalent of a tornado made entirely of fire. Truck-sized debris flew across the Sacramento River, igniting neighborhoods people thought were safe. Families caught in its path barely escaped. Jennifer Walsh's home cameras captured embers raining on her yard while the main fire was still 8 miles away. In minutes, spot fires erupted in every direction. No warning, no chance to fight back. Since that day, Redding has poured $180 million into new evacuation routes, fire breaks, and communication systems. But even with better defenses, reality remains brutal. Wildfires here move faster, burn hotter, and overwhelm resources that once work. Today, buyers can pick up homes for $365,000, far below Bay Area prices. But realtors whisper the truth. Listings linger for months, and new buyers demand costly retrofits, ember-resistant vents, fireproof roofing, defensible space, before they even consider moving in. Redding families live with a chilling equation. No amount of preparation guarantees safety when fire can generate a tornado of its own. Number 3. San Bernardino. On paper, San Bernardino looks like one of California's last affordable strongholds. Median homes hover around $385,000, spacious yards and mountain views included. But the hidden costs here turn the dream into a survival gauntlet. Here's the breakdown families discover too late. Wildfire insurance on the FAIR plan averages $8,400 per year. Earthquake coverage adds another $3,800. And defensible space upkeep costs $4,000 plus annually. That's before you consider the essentials: HEPA filters, sealed windows, backup generators. For a family earning $68,000 a year, disaster prep consumes nearly 40% of income. Maria Vasquez, a local real estate advisor, calls it the hidden second mortgage. She points to clients like the Rodriguez family, who bought a home for $385,000, then spent $25,000 on fire retrofits just to get insured. Their appraisal jumped, but so did their stress. And it's not just numbers on a page. Each summer, San Bernardino's skies turn toxic. Children wear masks indoors, asthma rates spike, and schools cancel outdoor sports for weeks. Parents talk about smoke season as casually as others talk about winter. Meanwhile, logistics giants, Amazon, FedEx, UPS, are fueling job growth, pulling families in. But each move comes with a harsh realization. Affordable here means paying in stress, smoke, and survival math. In San Bernardino, the dream of cheap California housing is real. But so is the price of living on the front line of climate disaster. Number 2. Santa Clarita. Santa Clarita looks like a master-planned paradise. Golf course suburbs, top-rated schools, and hiking trails winding through golden canyons. But history has a cruel memory, and this valley has been burning for centuries. Spanish explorers gave it a name in 1769. La Cañada de los Incendios, the Canyon of Fires. The warning couldn't be clearer. The fire paths are frighteningly consistent. The 1961 Bel Air fire swept through areas now home to Valencia. The 1970 Canyon Country Fire roared where Newhall families live today. The 2003 Old Fire scorched the land that Stevenson Ranch now occupies, and in 2019, the Tick Fire retraced the exact route of the 1970 blaze, only 40% faster. For a family that wants to live in Santa Clarita, it is imperative to understand the price of ignoring history. After buying a Valencia home, you must invest substantial funds in fire defenses, ember-resistant vents, backup power, sprinkler systems. Yes, this is not optional. It is survival math. Satellite overlays confirm the truth. Developers built right on top of fire corridors, betting that people would pay premium prices for views that have always been burn paths. And buyers did. Today, Santa Clarita homes average $850,000 plus, with insurance premiums exceeding $12,000 annually. when carriers don't cancel outright. The Canyon of Fires didn't disappear, it simply became a suburb. And for Santa Clarita's 228,000 residents, the past isn't just history, it's the forecast. Number 1. Malibu. Malibu. The name itself drips with glamour: beachfront mansions, celebrity chefs, red carpets leading back to ocean view patios. But no amount of wealth can stop fire when wind, mountain, and ocean conspire together. Celebrity chef Marcus Williams lived the nightmare in 2018. At 2 p.m., smoke from Thousand Oaks was just a distant haze. By 4, ash fell on his pool. By 6, the sky was orange-black. And by 8, he was fleeing down Pacific Coast Highway with flames on both sides. His $4.2 million home was gone before sunrise. Malibu's impossible equation is this: a 21-mile-long strip pinned between mountains and sea, connected by a single escape route. When Santa Ana winds hit 60-plus miles per hour, it becomes a furnace with no exits. Wealthy homeowners try everything: private fire crews, rooftop sprinklers, $200,000 suppression systems. Marcus installed them all in his rebuild. But even then, insurers canceled coverage, leaving him to pay $47,000 a year for limited protection. "You can't insure physics," he admits. Satellite footage from Woolsey shows what Malibu families already know. Fire here doesn't just burn houses, it erases entire landscapes in hours. And yet, people still move in, drawn by the beauty, the prestige, the dream. But in Malibu, paradise can become purgatory overnight, and the only certainty is that the next wind-driven inferno will come. Final take. The investigation leaves no room for doubt. California's most beautiful communities are also its most dangerous. From Santa Rosa's wine country infernos to Malibu's oceanfront firestorms, we've seen how disaster risk is not a footnote. It's the defining feature of life here. The math is brutal. $45 billion in losses since 2020, more than 2.4 million Californians living in very high fire hazard zones. Entire evacuation routes that collapse the moment tens of thousands try to escape at once. This isn't theory. It's the lived reality of families who thought they'd bought the dream and instead found themselves running for their lives. And here's what too many buyers still don't understand. Disaster isn't seasonal anymore. It's constant. Wildfires don't wait for autumn winds. They strike in February, in May, in December. Earthquake pressures don't reset with time. They build, silently, until release. And coastal floods aren't projections. They're already climbing sidewalks in cities like Vallejo. California's true hidden tax isn't property levies or mortgage rates. It's the cost of survival. Premiums that double every year, retrofits that drain savings, medical bills from heat or smoke, and the unshakable fear that paradise can become purgatory in hours. For families already here, preparation isn't optional. It's life or death math. For those considering a move, remember, scenic beauty is often nature's warning sign. The disasters aren't coming someday, they're already here. And if you found value in this video, please like and subscribe to our channel to stay ahead of the risks others ignore. Because understanding the truth could save your family's future, and maybe their lives.